It's here and now with an economic story with a 1973 reference. This cannot be good. The U.S. dollar has fallen by more than 10% against other currencies in the first half of this year, the worst showing since, wait for it, 1973. Here to discuss why is the very groovy Roben Farzad. He's the host of the podcast Full Disclosure. Hey, Roben.
Scott, I love the early 70s. Yes, Led Zeppelin. What's not to love?
Yeah, you're wearing a white suit, as I believe. John Travolta suit. Okay. What happened to American financial exceptionalism? You and I have talked about the U.S. economy being the safest place for people all around the world to invest their money. Why are they appearing to sour on the greenback?
You're right. There's that catch-22. Even if the United States is the epicenter of the disaster, think about subprime or the savings and loan crisis, people the world over pile into our treasuries and our greenback, fight or flight, whatever it is. And the alternatives have increased over the years. You have China saying that we want to have a reserve currency. The OPEC countries are not happy that everything is dollar denominated. Obviously, the euro has had its concerns. But this time around, clearly, you have a White House at war with its Federal Reserve. You have inflation being really stubborn and sticking around. And moreover, international assets have lagged for the better part of 15 years. And people are saying maybe there's just a better risk and reward.
Yeah, okay. So different signs of the U.S. economy, looking a little wobbly, right? Inflation, perhaps high interest rates, the tariffs. But here's the thing. The stock market just hit a record high last week. So how do you square all this?
Yeah, if you're Coca-Cola, if you're John Deere, if you're any of these huge multinationals that comprise so much of the S&P 100, S&P 500, wouldn't you be elated that the dollar is weaker and that foreign companies, foreign merchants can purchase more of your wares? On the flip side, it's difficult for us as, we're trying to import more things. But no White House is going to step forward and say, we actually really love a weak dollar policy. You always pay lip service to it, regardless of, Bush 1, Bush 2, Clinton, Obama. But in practicality, your constituents, especially in the Rust Belt and the manufacturing belt, love the weaker dollar.
Yeah. So, let's ask a longer term question. You've been talking about, the U.S. dollar being the reserve currency where the central banks of the world put a lot of their money where they think it's safe. Are things going to change? Like first, right? Oil is bought and sold in dollars. The dollar is kind of has been at the center for so long of the world economy. Is that finally potentially going to start to change? Say the euro or other currencies start to appear more attractive?
And I know that every immigrant relative will pull you aside and extol the virtues of hard gold or real estate or real assets. Or Farzad, why don't you just buy a barrel of crude back when it was $140 a barrel? In the end, it all retorts back to the U.S. dollar, unless and until the yuan or cryptocurrency or another currency could step forward and say we are as fungible and interchangeable and as omnipresent and as trustworthy as the full faith and credit of the United States, even with debt downgrades and the other mishigas that we've had. You're not going to see it happen.
Roben Farzad, with the best vocabulary we're going to hear on our show this hour. He hosts the podcast Full Disclosure. Here, Roben, thanks so much.
Thank you.